Welcome to the end of day review for Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. Starting off with the economic calendar, as you can see, there was no high impact red folder news for today, and there isn't any for tomorrow as well. Having said that, there were no economic news release considerations for our trading for today, so I'm going to move quickly on to the 4-hour chart. What we can see is that we did have a confirmed bullish market structure trend, and then last week we body broke this 4H level, essentially indicating to us that a change of control was potentially happening for the market structure side of things. But because it's not confirmed, we essentially operating in an uncertain scenario. There's two scenarios that can play out. Scenario one is that we actually just liquidity sweeping, and then we'll continue to make higher highs and higher lows, confirming the bullish market structure. Or alternatively, we will come back down, take out the swing structure point, have a break of structure, and validate a new market structure leg, suggesting a bearish market structure. Until that point, we will trade cautiously because we're essentially operating in uncertain scenarios. In terms of the order flow on the 4-hour, recently we had this pro trend previously confirmed primary leg that has developed, and as a result you can see I've marked out a number of primary leg OBs right here. And then obviously in terms of the pro trend unconfirmed, which is bearish, we got these pro trend unconfirmed OBs. So essentially our bias for today was to trade in both directions, provided that our three rules for trading in uncertain scenarios were met. Rule 1 was that we have a substructure to target. In terms of shorts, we had this substructure to target. In terms of longs, there was no substructure validated at any point. So even though during the London session we came in, mitigated this 4H OB, and then we could expect price to turn around, which it did. The issue was we had no substructure validated to target, which essentially meant that we couldn't actually trade longs, and this OB was simply a liquidity grab, which means that this 4H OB remains unmitigated for the time being. Then in terms of shorts, we had this substructure target, and we're reacting from this 4H OB, so there's reasons for shorts rather than longs for the entire day. Rule 2 is that we must have 4H backing. As you can see, we have both this 4H primary legs to support longs, and we've got this pro trend unconfirmed leg to support shorts. And then the last rule is having IRL visible on the time frame we are trading, which is either 15, 5 or 30 minutes. In this case today, given the reasons to trade both directions and reactions from 4H OBs, we're using the 5-minute time frame, so the 5-minute must demonstrate available IRL. Having said all of that, I'll move on to the 5 minutes. So as you can see, coming out of Asia this morning, we had all this IRL, with this being the ultimate target right here. I don't have the 4H substructure showing, but you can see there's a whole bunch of liquidity resting here, so there's more than enough to support that we have enough of our rules met to then short. Starting off for this morning and recapping what had happened, essentially we were waiting for Asia liquidity to be taken, and then once that was taken, we were waiting for price to come in here to then consider shorts. However, that didn't happen. Price first came into the 4H OB, validating a new secondary leg and invalidating directly trading from this primary leg OB. And then once we reacted to that, we were essentially waiting for a new secondary leg to be validated. As you can see in this leg, there was no available higher RPOIs, with the only option being that we extend this primary leg to then continue shorting. Whilst we did react to this 4H OB and we created the secondary leg and we could potentially find a long, although it hadn't quite tapped our POI or reached deep enough into our fib. Like I said, the issue was that 4H substructure was not validated right here, because we were still on this candle, and at no point did we have a 4H candle with a lower wick to validate that substructure. So longs were off the cards. However, from a technical analysis perspective, we couldn't ignore the fact that the secondary leg was created as a result of reacting to this 4H OB. Then we moved later on in the day, and we were looking for reasons to short, but there were a couple of considerations here. The first being that we must have London range liquidity swept, and although I don't have reason for a New York high of the day, I was willing to accept that if we just wicked the London high of the day, then I was happy to consider taking a trade. Obviously, what we did need is for the secondary leg, actually for the primary leg from this 4H OB to be developed, but yeah, that never materialized. We had these two levels, and given that they're so close together, it makes more sense to wait for the range to be broken. Excuse me. It made more sense to wait for the range to be broken to have proper confirmation. Given that these two levels are joined and they don't relate to two different structures, they're essentially part of this one leg. So I was waiting for this to be broken, but as you can see, price reacted to it and didn't break it during our New York session, and now even after the session it's still holding. So I would have taken a short right here if it had set up correctly, but it didn't. So yeah, essentially to conclude my end of day review, there were no trades or valid trades taken for today. The options I did consider was one, taking this trade. However, like I said, this new secondary leg, when this shock happened, invalidated this, so I was waiting for a new level, and then obviously I did consider taking this long right here, but like I said, the void substructure was invalidated, and then I considered this one, but again there wasn't confirmation to suggest that the primary leg was validated on the 5 minute. So there were a couple of options for today, but none of them really materialized, and that's perfectly okay. It doesn't fit my plan, so I stay out. I hope you had a good trading day, and we'll chat again tomorrow for the London outlook.